And then she goes, bam, and an avocado falls out. I shit you not.
Where is she hiding it?
I don't know. I have no idea where the avocado came from. It was just bam. And it was... Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Carnival of Knowledge. I'm Tiny, your host.
Carnival of Knowledge?
I don't know. I'm doing trivia. Well, can we restart this? Hey, everybody. Welcome. Where's Carl? Here on the Caviar Podcast Network. I haven't done this in a while, obviously.
It shows.
I know it does. So, welcome back. Hi. It's been a long time.
It's been far too long.
We got banned for a while. We don't know why yet, but we did have a 3-month ban, and well, we served it. I grew a beard. I painted my room. I got a new smile.
That's what happens when you get 90 days off.
That was a lot of time off. A lot of free time on our hands. So, well, welcome back. It's been too long. We missed a season of Preacher that you hated.
Yeah, hate's a strong word. Strongly disliked. Let's go with that.
All right, we'll go with strongly disliked.
There were a few things about the season that I did like.
Like it ended.
That was part of it. The one thing they did that I really loved was the musical selections for like the fight scenes, because they picked some songs that we would never expect to hear in a fight scene. They
really do a good job with music on that show. I have to admit.
That was for me. That was one of the highlights of the season, especially the finale. That whole fight scene to "My Sweet Lord" by George Harrison.
George Harrison, that was great. Yeah,
that was amazing.
But we're not here to talk about that show or Game of Thrones.
Or another time, perhaps.
Or any other show that we missed over the course of all this. American God. So much to talk
about. We will catch up one of these days.
We're here not because it's Walking Dead time.
That's right.
Episode 100.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things that I didn't think it was going to be that long coming. You know, that the show was going to be running that long. You know, who'd have known that it was going to be that popular right out of the gate? I mean, it was a pretty successful comic book going into the show, but you know, a transition from one medium to the other doesn't necessarily guarantee success. And whatever they did with Walking Dead, they have, you know, done it well, and they've kept doing it.
Yeah, and I tell you what, they're not that far with comics. Negan appearing or Glenn dying in 100 in issue 100 to 100 episodes of the show. It's not that much disparity between the two.
No, I mean they've
that happened 13 episodes or 16 episodes ago.
Yeah, I mean the pacing of the show to the comic book has been pretty spot on. I mean the seasons have handled, you know, the major storylines of the comics pretty well, to the point where we're at 100 episodes and we're not too far from where they are where they were in the books at this time. Yeah, it's they've done a great job of keeping that in line. Okay,
and they do a lot of good things, but then they do some bad things.
This they do.
So let's talk about this Kane, Flowers, Clock, Old Rick, 824 bullshit that ran through this whole episode.
Okay, not just that. There were so many fucking time jumps. I don't know where the hell anything was happening, you know, because you've got Future Rick, you've got the day of the battle, you've got Rick's Independence Day speech, you've got Rick crying, you've got Carl.
Where's crying Rick?
Yeah, who knows?
Where is that?
Yeah, there's no context to let you know where that takes place. Does it take place between Independence Day and the battle, after the battle, before Old Man Rick? Where?
There's one shot with a stained glass window in it. I don't know what that fucking thing means.
Yeah, they did a horrible job of jumping around and giving you no idea where any of this stuff takes place.
Yeah, so apparently I'm going to assume that was Abraham and Glenn's graves.
Probably. That makes sense.
That's the best I can do.
Well, especially especially going into getting ready to go to battle against Negan, you're gonna want to say your prayers to the two guys that suffered the worst at his hand.
I'm all good with that. You visit, that's the whole reason for the battle, really. So
yeah,
you go visit them, sure, before you do it, and then okay, I'm okay with that. But then we go, all right. So they start Mad Maxing out the vehicles. Eventually, this is going to turn into Fury Road. I'm going to just warn you ahead of time. I have so many Fury Road comments peppered throughout this thing. It is crazy.
I want to see Negan in a big rig with a flaming guitar player following behind him. If anybody deserves that guy, it deserves the flaming guitar player. It's Negan.
He does, but it should be Simon. I just want to see Stephen Ogg with the guitar up there.
And Eugene could rig that system up for him.
Totes, 100%.
Yeah, there's a reason they're keeping him around.
So I do like that Daryl and Dwight have created Arrow Mail.
Yeah, I mean it's and I especially love the fact that Daryl sent his arrow into Dwight's tire. That's a nice little screw you. I still don't trust you.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah,
I know. I hope it's not cussing that got us banned, because there's no way I'm going to stop that.
No, and we put up an explicit warning on this show.
We used to. I haven't done one in a while.
Oh, maybe that could be why.
Bullshit. All right, so enough with that. So yeah, the arrow in the tire was the best, and he just sends it back into a 2x4.
Yeah. Can I say one thing really quick? It's about time that The Walking Dead brought Weird Al Yankovic into the universe.
He has belonged for so long.
It is. It has been. That's the one thing I've been saying for years. That's been missing from Walking Dead is Weird Al Yankovic.
Totally, and now finally.
Yeah, he's finally getting his due. He's finally made it as a musician.
Right, he can retire now. He's
done. Exactly.
He's like I've played Bonnaroo, I've played the State Fair, I've been in The Walking Dead. I'm done.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, what else is there for the guy? He's peaked.
He is peaked. Yeah, he's never going to be more popular than he was in the 80s.
No.
It's never going to happen again. Are you drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon?
I am.
Nice. Well done, sir. So, did you happen to watch Talking Dead?
I did, and I saw like the very end of it before the episode started. But
there's a great bit with Alana Masterson, and she's talking about Tara eating licorice on top of the overpass, right? And first off, where'd you get the fucking licorice, right? Like everybody's asking, but how old was the licorice?
Well, maybe that's the reason why she was sucking on it, not really eating it.
She tells the story that she hates licorice. So every time they had to do a take, they like bite into it, whatever. So she bite through it, and then she hates it so much she just threw it off the overpass. It took about 5 takes before the AD came up and was like, "Hey, Alana, look, you're doing great, but there's people down there, and you're throwing your licorice, and it's hitting them." She says she looked over the overpass down at the people. They were all flipping her off. So there you go. The licorice is important.
There you go.
Yeah, I thought it was great that she seemed to have this really great I just don't give a fuck attitude in this whole episode.
Yeah, like, I mean, especially after what she had to do last season, I could kind of see that, with her giving up, Camp Crystal Lake to get the weapons.
Right. She's just rolling with it now.
Yeah,
100% with it. Okay, cool.
And especially after Rick's fiery speech, and Ezekiel and St. Crispin's Day.
My next note is Rick rallies the troops with a traditional Rick speech. Once a season.
Yeah, the only thing that speech was missing was Bill Pullman.
Once a season, Rick breaks out a turkey and some stuffing, and we all get the Thanksgiving Day rally the troops speech.
Oh yeah,
it happens every year. It's great. The cranberries are fantastic, and we love the pie. So we don't care so much. But then Ezekiel takes over and goes full Henry V with it.
Yeah, he does.
He's got a skull up there. He's like, "This is drama."
Yeah.
And I fucking love Ezekiel in this.
Yeah.
And Maggie closes out the show with this thing about faith, and the future is ours. The world is ours. And I thought that is a bit much.
Yeah, that's a bold claim.
That's a bit grandiose. That's asking for a lot.
I'd start with something smaller, something a little bit more manageable. Maybe start with a state, then spread out from there.
Sure. So that she does. Everybody does their grandiose speech, and then we get Graves, Kane, Flowers, Clock, Old Man Rick, bizarre, dazed, and Prism Rick. Where the fuck is that supposed to be? And finally, we get the credits.
Yeah.
It feels like they packed an awful lot of crap that we didn't need in that first bit.
A little bit. I mean, and especially, again, going back to jumping around between multiple time periods, in that opening sequence, that opening few minutes, really kind of felt claustrophobic. It's like they were just trying to throw so much at you at once.
I expected Hurley to pop out of the fucking bushes and be like, "You're on the island now, motherfucker."
You start screaming the numbers at him.
Right? Like, you don't even know what. So Mr. Cluck's chicken is on point with it. It's crazy like Lost.
Yeah.
It really is. So then the show starts, and not only do we jump back in time, but we go all the way back to the pilot episode where Rick goes to the gas station and first encounters Teddy Bear Girl.
Yeah.
We have Carl needing gas. By the way, Carl should drive with one eye on the road.
Oh,
ow. Well, how does Carl drive? Come on. His depth perception's got to be fucked up.
Well, the good thing is there's not a lot of other traffic on the road, so it's not like he has to pay too much attention.
It better not be on the right. So, yeah, but good on Carl for driving with one eye and keeping one eye on the road. I don't know how he does it. But, so, yeah, he goes off searching for gas, and here we are right back in the pilot episode where Rick's walking, out of the hospital, and it's almost the exact same kind of shit.
Yeah. And I'm not quite sure what this part was. I mean, you've got the whole thing with Carl and that guy who's, asking for food.
I'm calling him the stranger.
The stranger. Yeah, that works.
This stranger don't have no sarsaparilla. And, but he is a stranger. Yeah, so.
And Rick immediately goes to the distrust route. I mean.
Well, give Rick points. He shot above him and not at him.
No, yeah, and that's true. Rick didn't kill him, which is a good thing. But, Rick didn't even give this guy a chance, And I guess, to be fair, they're getting ready for war.
Yeah, the chances are about up at this point.
But, how do you...
Chances.
Well, but, a complete stranger, they don't know who all are in the in the Saviors, but, it's going to come to a point where they're going to have to, they're going to be finding people. And they're gonna have to give them a chance if they want to, include these people into their societies. And no chance. Just whoever's in the three communities are the only people that get to live.
That's it.
Okay, fair enough.
Did you see anybody else in old man Rick's fever dream that gives you any clue the world's going to be a better place?
Well, we didn't see anybody but old man Rick, and then Michonne and Carl, right?
Carl and Judith.
Yeah.
Yeah, she shows up at the end and takes him outside to show him the
owl
house across the street.
With the giant owl.
Okay, did you see an owl? I didn't see an owl.
Yeah, it was a stretch. It looked like a big burlap sack with some eyes painted on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was looking for it too, and I finally caught it. I'm like, I guess that's kind of an owl.
I'm old. I don't know shit. So, whatever. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with the stranger, but later on, Carl's going to drop him some chow. But then another just total fucking departure from reality. We have O-Ren Ishii's hit list apparently, and we're just going to scrub people off one at a time.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what Dwight sent back over to Daryl was locations of their scouts and the raiding parties and such.
Makes perfect sense, and if they would have showed us that, goddamn, we'd have figured out where the list came from.
Yeah,
nope, we had to figure it out on our own.
Yeah, it would have only taken a second to see, Daryl open up the piece of paper and see the stuff written down on there.
Right, that's it. Just show me a glimpse.
Cut the scene of Rick crying and show us that scene of Daryl opening up the paper. That'd have been fine.
There's a prism on Rick's face. What the fuck? I don't care. Oh my God, man.
Yeah, there was a number of things that didn't need to be in this episode, but
there were a lot. So the platform tree guy, he gets shot in the head, falls off, gets eaten by a walker. That was a good one. the Marlboro man, he's just trying to cop a smoke, and Daryl jumps his ass.
Daryl pops up with a cigarette in his mouth. Waste not, want not.
Like, hey, man. Takes his gun and his smoke. And then in the research facility, Morgan just comes up right behind the guy, just straight right through the chest. Thunk.
Yeah, I mean, that's some strength to go through a chest like that with just a wooden rod.
He has another one later in the episode that I think is way better, but that was a really, it's good to see Morgan using the stick for non-passive reasons.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that at the end of last season too, with the whole thing with the kingdom and the saviors. But yeah, you got to realize that you're getting ready for war. You can't employ non-lethal tactics in a war like this. You're fighting for survival of yourself and for hundreds of other people.
Right. Yeah. You got to put the wood to him.
Yeah. Knocking somebody upside the head is not going to cut it this time.
But it doesn't kill people.
Exactly.
So apparently on this raid on the sanctuary, a few people got a pass. Michonne, Carl, Rosita, they just sit it out.
Well, considering how bad of a shot Michonne is, do you really want her going there?
No. Look, I love Michonne. Don't get me wrong. Look,
I know you do.
I love, that's my woman.
I know you love your Michonne.
And when Rick puts his little dirty pickle in her, it hurts me. It hurts me bad. And we were watching Talking Dead, and Kristen comes in, and Denai Guerrero's on it. She's like, "Who's that?" And I said, "That's Michonne." She's bald. And I'm like, "Yeah, she's in the fucking Black Panther movie. She's bald."
Yeah.
She's like, "You mean those aren't her dreadlocks?" And I'm like, "No, babe. No. That's why you don't understand. It's only Michonne that does it for me. It's not Denai Guerrero. And I love her. But it's not. You gotta have it all, baby." And it's got to be the zombie apocalypse. It's got to have dreads. It's got to be the whole thing. The samurai sword, all of it.
Oh, so Kristen now has no fears whatsoever about you leaving for Denai Guerrero. Oh, good.
Oh yeah, no. She's more worried about Scarlett. She's worried about Scarlett Johansson, and I'm like, have you fucking seen me? Like, you don't have to. I have a goddamn mirror. I know what Ryan Reynolds looked like. I'm not close.
No.
I'm close to like Bubba Reynolds and Debbie Reynolds, maybe.
But not Burt Reynolds.
Not Burt. Oh hell no! No. I'm not close. I can't even spit in the same state as Burt Reynolds. All right, so they're taking out the guards, and that's great. And I love that Rick unleashes the walker on the one guy.
Yeah.
Just there you go. Fuck you. And he goes to his ice chest and he's like picky about shit. Like, no.
It's no, this ain't worth it. This ain't worth my time.
Like, why did I even bother with this?
There was the one raid they went on where like 5 or 6 people showed up and there was like one guy hiding behind a car. And it's like, really? Like everything else was completely stealth operations, and this is the one, like, full frontal assault and one guy behind a car and you couldn't,
Here's the thing. I'll get to that in a minute. But that whole thing happens where Morgan already took the guy out.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll go back to that.
Okay, great.
But, all right. So the cast up Fury Road gathers in the field to prepare for war. And Jerry gives his arm piece to Carl's side piece to use as a chest protector. And I thought that was nice.
Because Jerry's a good guy.
Jerry's awesome. How can you not like Jerry?
I love Jerry.
Oh, and the Talking Dead, they brought everybody out. They had a bunch of people. They had Sasha came back, and they had.
Yeah, I saw that a lot of people from a lot of the dead characters, like T-Dog was there, Merle was there, Herschel was there.
Merle, Herschel, and then they at the very end they had Jerry bring out a cake.
Oh yeah, the cobbler cake. Yeah, I did see that.
Way to go, Jerry. Yeah, so Jerry again just steals a scene. You saw the next week on?
I did see briefly, yeah.
Did you see Jerry burying his axe?
Yeah, axe in somebody's head, yeah.
Oh, I've been waiting so long for that.
Jerry and the battle axe.
I can't wait to see that. All right, so he helps her out, gives her some protection there. So this is where Rick says he follows Maggie. Maggie says she can only wage war into her second trimester, which I thought was the most priceless joke of the whole show. That's such a good joke.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he's just going to follow her. And I think we're setting that up. I think Maggie's the president. You know?
Maybe. I mean, I haven't read further enough into the comic books to know where things are going, but I mean, we've already seen her. She's pretty much taking control of the hilltop. So she's got that leadership. Yeah. But I mean, we saw that last season though too. You know, when the suspicions about Gregory started popping up, and people weren't sure about him, and you know, Jesus was basically saying that everybody was, you know, following Maggie anyways.
How glorious is Gregory's death got to be at this point?
Oh, I so thought we were going to get it this episode.
I didn't. But once he fucks over Father Gabriel at the end.
Oh yeah.
The death that is coming to this guy is huge, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, it's going to be something spectacular.
I used a Trump huge right there, and I'm sorry. But my God, when they take him out, it better be glorious and satisfying, because I want this guy dead.
You want like a Joffrey Purple Wedding kind of death scene?
Yeah. I want Oberyn Martell.
Okay.
Yeah. I want the mountain to pop his head like a fucking grape.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of those characters that we've been saying he needs to go for a while, and the fact that he's still alive astounds me.
And I don't even know who I want to give it to. Like,
I want to see Kung Fu Jesus like soften him up first.
Kung Fu Jesus deserves it. The two gay dudes deserve it.
Maggie you should get a piece of him.
Maggie totally deserves it. Yeah, Maggie needs it. I mean, everybody needs a bite of this guy.
Well, yeah, I think they should just like tie him up in the middle of the hilltop and just stone him. Give everybody in the town a chance.
There's never been a stoning on the show, has there?
There has not. I mean, I'm sure like a zombie's been smacked on the head at the rock, but that's not quite the same thing.
I'm going to write an episode of this show that makes absolutely no sense. I'm going to call it "Where in Time is Rick?" where in time is Rick Santiago?
Yeah.
All right. So
if Rick would have put on a red hat, then that would have been perfect. That would have been perfect.
Yeah. Right. And then we get another callback, because we didn't have enough going on in callbacks. So Daryl out front of a zombie herd on his motorcycle. We've never seen that before.
Like what? Like 2 seasons ago?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
No.
Like, don't make me feel sentimental for shit that just happened. Like, I can't do that.
I mean, and the whole Daryl's whole like ride with like, you know, shooting up explosives along their way, just like out for a Sunday stroll.
Don't get ahead of us. I got that, but I got a whole thing on that. It's awesome. Okay. All right, so let's go. So they blow up a car on the highway, and Negan sends out a team to investigate. And then Dwight watches everybody on the tower get shot, and shit is going down.
Oh yeah.
So the Fury Road gang surrounds Sanctuary, and now they're happy to chat and shoot out the windows.
What was the point of that?
I don't know what the windows did to the people from Alexandria.
The windows didn't kill Abraham. The windows didn't kill Glenn. The windows haven't been demanding half of their supplies.
This is where I really want a chat room so we could go and like, why did they just shoot?
Why didn't they just shoot Negan?
I'm hoping it's part of a much bigger plan that this was important in some way, because otherwise you spend a lot of ammunition taking out some not too devastating windows.
Yeah, I mean, and as far as I know, the walkers can't rappel up the walls. They don't have Spider-Man powers to climb up the walls. And those windows are high enough up. Those windows are high enough up, that the walkers aren't going to get in through there.
Yeah. So, and now, what? Shoot out all the glass and then stained glass Rick.
Yeah. The other thing is Rick had a clear line. Rick had a clear line of sight to Negan the entire conversation. Didn't take a single shot at him until later on when Negan's hiding behind cover. Then Rick decides they're going to shoot at him.
Right. Well, to be fair, Negan hadn't had time to come out and then like whip his dick out and go, look, bigger. And
well, they did. They were talking for like 10 minutes before. Rick did the whole like, I'm going to count to 10, and you only got to 7. I mean, Rick's a horrible counter if that's the way it's going to work.
Well, no, Rick named off all his people so that Negan knows that Rick knows.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. You know some information.
Except for the one girl at the end who Rick did not know.
He didn't care.
No.
Yeah. So he says, if you surrender, you're all going to be safe, and that is a good deal.
Except for Negan.
Except for Negan, not you. No. I'm still going to kill you like I've told you twice.
Yeah.
So then he brings out a very special guest. It's Gregory, ladies and gentlemen. And Gregory says, the hilltop stands with Negan. And Jesus said, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's really it's easy for Gregory to say that when he's standing in front of Negan, but he's not at Hilltop anymore. He has no say over what's going on over there. So I'm not sure where he thought he still had all this power coming from. But
look, I live in Charlotte, and I could walk into Charlotte in the middle of the game, in the middle of a Panthers game, and go, ladies and gentlemen, the Los Angeles Kings stand for the Carolina Panthers. And some people will be like, go Kings. And other people will be like, who are you to say so? And I'm like, I'm from there.
Yeah.
It's good enough.
Yeah.
So, no, that's not good enough. And Jesus says the hilltop stands with Maggie, which, of course, will be a T-shirt and everything else.
Of course it will.
That'll be right up there with your shitting pants.
The hashtag stands with Maggie.
It stands with Maggie. Oh, God. Ugh. We better not start that.
I'm not a hashtagger. Don't worry about it.
As long as it's not her, too. I'm sorry. Oh, my God. If anybody was watching this, I'd care. All right. So then, it's just so good to talk to you.
Yeah.
So then, my favorite zombie kill of the week goes to.
Well, we're forgetting the part where after Glenn tells Gregory that he's full of shit. Negan's right hand guy, the guy that was working with Gregory, Stephen Ogg, Simon. Yeah, Simon's like, I spent a lot of time investing in you. This isn't really paying off, and just kicks him down the fucking stairs.
It's like, you don't get to be up here anymore. Special guest rejected.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. It was nice to see, Gregory get a little bit of comeuppance there.
It was. And then, so there's this walker that's gonna like screw up the whole Negan's team dying thing, and Morgan's got to stop him before he trips the wire, and he goes up and straight fucking unicorns it, bam, right through the forehead. It pops out the top, and I was like,
yeah. Morgan's just like, I got this, and he just like slinks down the stairs and kind of creeps up behind the walker,
stabs it right in the head. Awesome job.
Yeah.
So then it's 10, 9, 8, 7, and then he starts shooting because I don't. Why do you go to 7? But
because it was the element of surprise. Negan didn't see that one coming.
All right, so
because Rick's crazy unpredictable now.
Crazy unpredictable, and he's lost in time. So
yeah,
anything can happen. So Daryl and Carol get to hug it out,
of course,
and he says it's going to be fun, and she's like, "It's not fun, Daryl," and he's like, "It's kind of fun." Like, come on, he's done this just 2 seasons ago.
Yeah,
it's pretty fun. So the herd approaches as the Fury Road gang. They got to break down the fence, and another callback to the RV.
Yeah.
So seasons 1 and 2 prominently on display in this episode.
This is like the Force Awakens of Walking Dead.
It really is. Yeah, it's kind of similar to 4, but it's not really 4.
Yeah.
So now Daryl goes on what I've dubbed the mid-morning big explosion Paul Revere ride of atonement.
Yeah.
So thank you. So Paul Revere ride of atonement. Basically, he's like, the walkers are coming. And it's I want to put so much political into these 2 little teams, Sanctuary and Alexandria, but I can't, because I think that's influencing my thing with their thing, and I don't want to do that.
No, that's a fair point.
But the Paul Revere ride came to me because, like, come on.
Yeah.
I did like the one Walker getting blown to bits, standing by the trash can. That was a beautiful explosion, and the half a body sliding across.
Yeah, that was good. I love that.
It was premium quality. Yeah, so Rick's got Negan pinned down. He's just going to shoot him to death. Shoot him to death. That's what I said.
Yeah.
And then Father Gabriel comes over and is like, nah, we ain't got time for that.
Oh, so going back really quick. Okay, so when they set the RV to go through the gate, I was expecting RV just going to roll through the gate, take the gate down. When that fucking thing exploded, I was not prepared for that. I did not see that one coming.
Well, this time the garage door opener worked.
Yeah.
And it was a good. This is chock full of explosions. Like their pyrotechnic is on point.
Yeah, and that was probably their entire pyrotechnic budget for the season.
I don't know. They thanked their explosives guy at the 100 episode. He got like a huge round of applause.
Yeah, but yeah, I wasn't expecting them to have planted explosives, and I figured they were just going to use the RV to break the gate down.
Right, battle ram.
Yeah, and then
ram, but a concussive battle ram.
And also it's Negan's savior at that point because it's the armored front of the RV that he was hiding behind when Rick was shooting at him.
What is a better battle ram, the RV from The Walking Dead or the one they used at Minas Tirith in Two Towers?
I'm gonna go with the RV.
Oh, really? I go with Minas Tirith, but all right.
Well, they put some serious effort into welding that big steel plate on front of that thing.
Right, that was a transformer. It was a full Dinobot at that point. No, good on it. So, but when he's got Negan pinned down there, right? And like Gabriel pulls him off, and he's like, "No, we don't have time for that. This isn't about you." Oh, another PBR. Damn
right. It's our welcome back, man. I'm celebrating.
Hey, PBR is the beer to have when you're having more than one.
Hey, when you're drinking on a budget, PBR is great.
There you go. So here's the thing. Rick decides, you're right, I'm going to back off, but then he comes back and takes a Polaroid.
Yeah, I love that.
What is this guy fucking scrapbooking the apocalypse?
I think so.
That's Kristen's joke, by the way. I stole it.
Yeah, no, that was good. I was wondering the exact same thing when I saw him pull out the camera. I'm like, what the fuck's he's taking a picture?
Like of all the things that don't make sense in this episode, that picture might be the one that doesn't make sense the most.
But you know what? It's probably the funniest thing that doesn't make sense, though. Because, Rick's going to look back on this and be like, you remember that time we blew up the front gate of the sanctuary?
Here, look.
He's gonna show Judith as like, here, baby. This is when I blew up the front of the building.
He took it back to Michonne and he's like, "Here, shake it,
shake it like a Polaroid picture."
There you go. I got a little B.O.B. in the house. I'm happy. All right, so Gabriel is ready to pack it up and go, but he sees Gregory out there in the world of shit. So he's like, "Oh, I'm a man of God. I'm going to go help him." To which Gregory promptly fucks him right over.
And how many times have we seen something like this where somebody goes back to try and help somebody and gets screwed over in the process?
Generally not this quickly, though. I mean, that was...
Well, look at... what was it? God, I can't remember the kid. The little black kid that got stuck in the revolving door.
Oh, yeah. I remember he was at the hospital.
Yeah.
What was his name? Yeah. Oh, I don't remember.
Noah.
Orlando Jones.
Noah.
There you go. Orlando Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Noah went back to help them and promptly got screwed.
Yeah, and that's what happened. Don't go back. That's
and especially don't go back for people like that. Go back for assholes. Gregory, you should have gone back for him. Gregory dug his own hole. Let him sit in there.
But again, that's not how I want to watch Gregory go out.
No.
I don't want to see Father Gabriel sitting there listening to Sweet Judy Blue Eyes on the radio, and all of a sudden there goes Gregory getting chowed. No,
but Gregory screwing But Gregory screwing Gabriel looks like we might be seeing the end of Gabriel here real soon.
Well, he's got his shitting pants on because he's about to start shitting his pants.
Yeah.
All right. Some of Negan's lines are great. That is not one of them.
No, because I mean, I feel like we've heard that line or similar version of that before.
Yeah, it was Pee Pee Pants City, right? Now it's getting your shitting pants on.
I guess that's an upgrade on the fear level because a little bit of fear, you piss your pants. A lot of fear, you're gonna shit your pants. So I guess, but yeah,
Negan's shitting pants are available on WalkingDead.com, by the way.
Of course they are.
Of course they are, right? They get more out of this show than George Lucas gets out of Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, the marketing on this one is, pretty much unlimited.
They are crazy good at it.
Yeah, they can basically print their own money at this point.
Yeah, I wish I had a show that went 8 years. I don't know how Psych didn't end up just merchandising the shit out of themselves because I would have.
Yeah.
But see, Levy, I had a friend who was a big Psych fan, and I just found out she is, and she was like, "Wait a minute, you know them?" And I was like, "Oh, hey, we have a visitor. Hi, visitor. We have a chat room visitor."
I don't have the chat room open.
I do. I don't know who you are. Hi.
Hello, chat room visitor.
Anyways, yeah. So she's like, she didn't know that I knew them, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I used to live with the original bass player for Friend Lindy." And she's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, Ken was my roommate."
Nice.
What?
I love that show.
I'm like, do I need to try to see? I can try, but I'm not going to get you anything because it's been 20 years. They don't fucking know me anymore.
I'm looking forward to the movie on December 7th.
Oh, is there a Psych movie? Really?
They're doing a movie, yeah.
Oh, well, 6 seasons in a movie.
Thank you, Community.
Good enough for Community? Good enough for you. All right, so Gabriel gets locked in the trailer. And then we have the last of the Rick and the old man Rick in it. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't. Is it pretension?
Well, I mean,
is it just?
I mean, I guess they're trying to slowly ease us into the time jump that happens at the end of all that war. By kind of giving it to us early. Because if we got into the season finale and they end the war and all of a sudden it goes to black and it comes back from a commercial and it's like 5 years later and we got old man Rick, people are like, what the fuck happened? But now I guess they're kind of easing us into it by saying, okay, it's already here, but again, it comes back to all these time jumps. Just got confusing.
All right, so if we end this season and bad is punished and blah blah blah, and then it goes black, it cuts back to, and we see old man Rick wake up and look at the flowers and grab his cane, and then we're all like, oh, all that symbolism makes so much sense now.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I can think of.
Man, what a waste of a fucking episode! It just that episode, there was a lot of action. I got to see a lot of good stuff. There was a couple of good kills. The in memoriam wasn't much, but nobody important died.
No,
that's always a travesty.
Well, I saw an article today. I didn't read it, but something about there being a lot of big deaths this season.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
All right, let's talk about that. Who would be the big death that would shock you the most? Obviously, Rick is not going to die. Carl's not going to die.
Michonne's not going to die, obviously.
You don't think Michonne's capable of death?
Well, I don't know. If we're getting these flash forwards and we see her there.
Well, there you go. All right. So Judith is safe.
Yeah. So Judith, Carl, Rick, Michonne, they're all safe. But I mean, anybody else could go.
I think it's time that we lose Morgan.
Yeah, I could see Morgan going
in the war. Yeah. We could lose Morgan.
We could Rosita,
Ezekiel, maybe.
I don't want to see Ezekiel go, but
if not Ezekiel, then
Shiva.
It's going to be Jerry.
Shiva,
Jerry.
I hope not.
You think Shiva's going to get? You think that Negan gets to Lucille Shiva?
I don't know if he's going to Lucille her, but I think Shiva might suffer in the war.
I would love love to see him take a baseball bat to that tiger and watch people go up in arms over that shit. Like that, I mean, fucking hit a tiger with a bat.
Well, I mean, that would definitely, add to Negan's, hardcore persona.
Yeah.
I mean, to see him face down a charging tiger with a baseball bat, that'd be fucking hardcore.
That's like the Revenant manly. I mean,
that's like Lord of the Rings, like Legolas, shooting bow and arrows at the big elephants.
All right. I don't know about that. I don't know. Baseball bat and a tiger, man. That's competition.
It is. You just gotta hope you're faster than that tiger.
All right. So, who else could we lose?
I mean, pretty much anybody. Tara, Rosita, Carol could go.
Bite your tongue. People around the world.
I don't want to see Carol go, but honestly, at this point, pretty much everybody but Rick and his family, and Maggie. I got to say, Maggie for sure is going to be sticking around.
All right, yeah, I'm safe with that. I'm safe with Maggie.
But anybody else at this point's fair game.
I don't want to lose Simon, and it's gonna hurt. I really like Stephen Ogg.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that seems to just have a blast in this role.
It just seems like he would have a blast in any role.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell he's having fun playing this part.
A little bit of a shit heel. He's not the best guy in the world, and that's kind of his bread and butter. He lives right there in justified land, like Walter Coggins' world.
Yeah, he's an asshole, but he's not like Negan level asshole.
He hasn't taken it to the next step.
No. Because if he was to take it to the next step, he'd be stepping on Negan's toes, and Negan wouldn't want that. He'd get the iron.
They talked about that in the Talking Dead.
Did they?
They said, "Do you think Simon has any eyes on taking over leadership?" And he said, "I think that Simon sees himself as that, but if he had to take responsibility and leadership, I guess he'd be okay with that." So I was like, all right, that leaves that open. I know, comic book wise, what happens with Negan, and I don't want to.
Yeah, but I mean,
spoil anything.
So I mean, Rick's whole argument was that if they cut the head off the snake, if they take Negan out, that the survivors will basically crumble. Do you think that statement's true?
I want to believe that, but I don't.
I mean, I'm of the mind that if Negan was taken out, there are plenty of people within the Saviors that would definitely turn tail and run. All the lower level people that are working on the point system, they'd be happy to be free of that.
Let me try to get us banned. If something were to happen to Trump, all the hate wouldn't disappear just because the one asshole in charge is gone.
True.
So I don't think that taking Negan out necessarily ends the Saviors. It just changes them. It makes them a different dynamic, a different leader, probably a different mission statement, though probably a lot of it pretty much the same on company motto.
Yeah. I mean, depending on who took over, Simon probably has the stones to step up and run things like Negan would.
Right.
I'm not sure there are many other people within that group that have that kind of personality, that kind of charisma that Negan had, that would allow him to control the people the way he does.
All right, fully speculating here. So Negan goes down in a vicious hail of blood and bullets and whatnot, and standing over his bloody corpse, holding Lucille aloft, drops it on his shoulder, and he goes, "I am Eugene."
I'd love to see Eugene wielding Lucille.
Right? That would be awesome.
That would be great.
That would be I would be down for that. Just slings it over his shoulder, blood dripping down it. I am Eugene. Oh man, I would.
You'll see. Then you see Eugene go full ham with Lucille, just like start charging everybody.
Bam, bam. Oh no, I think he just bashed his skull in like he did Abraham's. Turn that into some good old-fashioned hamburger. We're having Salisbury steak tonight.
So how long before we get AMC's one of two F-bombs in this season of Walking Dead?
The next time they put Jadis on screen, they'll hear me go, "Oh fuck."
Well, you know that they're allowed to use fuck twice in a season.
Oh, twice now, is it?
Well, after they used it in Fear the Walking Dead, there was an article about FCC guidelines and whatnot, and that they were told that they are allowed to use it twice in a season without going overboard.
Oh. All right, well, that makes sense. There has been some shows I've watched, and I was like, just randomly watching it, and I la 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 la, and I hear it, and I'm like, did it say fuck?
Well, yeah. So like, what? And when it happened in Preacher, I'm like, I had to stop it, rewind it, and go back. I'm like, did he say what I thought he said? And sure enough, he screams, "I'm Adolf fucking Hitler!" And I'm like, oh shit, he did say it. I was not expecting that. But
by the way, I know you can't see, but you can see my line of pops. Right down here.
I cannot.
All right, you see them?
Yes.
There you go. All right, that is all 6 now of the Preacher Pops. Series complete.
See, talking about Pops makes me a little sad now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry. I won't bring it up
again. It's okay.
That sucked.
It did.
Start a GoFundMe to replace all your shit. But we don't have any fans, and that is what we may have had fans, but the 3 month that we spent twiddling our thumbs and growing a fucking beard does not allow
may have found new homes. Yeah,
so whatever. All right, well, new fans, old fans, it doesn't matter. We're gonna start a new show soon called The Panel, and that's gonna be something interesting, I hope.
Nice.
Yeah. So basically, I'm going to send out a question each week to a panel of experts.
Okay.
You, Matt.
Fair enough. Yeah.
The occasional person on Twitter that I'm associated with that's a celebrity.
Nice. Yeah.
So I'll send out a question like, give me your top 5 martial arts action movies. Right, so everybody sends in their top 5, and we make a consensus top 10, and then we do the show on the top 10.
Okay.
Each person on the panel doesn't necessarily have to be on the show, but a couple of us will be to discuss that week's top 10.
Nice. Okay, that sounds cool. Kind of reminds me. Different topics. It reminds me of that VH1 did a show something like that called The List. Or something like that, where they would have a group of people come in and they'd get a topic, and each person would get to like choose 1 or 2 things, and then other people could kind of like veto some of those choices, and they ultimately came up with a list of like top 5 or whatever for whatever category they came up with. But yeah, I mean,
I have some.
It was fun.
Some really random Twitter friends that I chat with that are like Big Brother players and Survivor players and things like that. Right. So hopefully they'll get into it. We're going to send it out to a bunch of suicide girls because that would be fun.
There you go.
So we're going to send them out and we're going to see what happens. Hopefully that'll all work out. If not,
yeah, that could be fun.
We're going to find a way to get back on the air once a week at least. Once Carl here goes off the air, we have talked about doing some reissues for things we missed.
Yeah, some catch up stuff. Yeah.
But I think what we need to we need to talk some American Gods.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I think we need to talk some American Gods pretty fucking pronto. That show was really, really good.
I finally finished it a couple weeks ago.
Really good.
Oh yeah, no, that show was amazing.
All right, so we got a few minutes here and nobody's watching. So have you checked out Star Trek Discovery?
I haven't. I don't have the CBS All Access.
Well, our thing is we're starting to give all our friends Fire Sticks as gifts.
Oh, nice.
Because we got ours and everybody's like, oh, man, we want one. So now we're like, oh, it's your birthday? All right, well, 3 of us will split it and we'll get you a Fire Stick.
Nice, that's cool.
So we keep it. If you want one, let me know. They're only $75.
That's not bad, yeah.
It's not bad. But yeah, so anyway, stop talking about illegal things. Maybe this is why we get banned. I don't know.
Well, there's nothing illegal about a Fire Stick. Amazon sells them.
That's right. Yeah, I didn't say anything about it being tampered with in any way.
No, it's a stock Amazon Fire Stick.
Sure.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
It isn't. Whatever. Who cares? Again, nobody's watching. Besides, we would have been shut down already if they wanted to keep us off. No. I don't know why we got banned. I really don't. They don't give you a reason, and then there's no person to talk to.
We need Robert. Where's Robert Stack when you need him, man?
Oh man, I tell you what. I need. What was the guy on Channel 4 on NBC? He was, the consumer advocate.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring me that guy. Like, they're not here to listen to us complain. They're here we don't pay their bills. So
no,
they don't give a flying frig about us.
Not at all.
Just banned us for something, for a podcast that did not even exist.
That's the best part.
That's the best part. We got banned for something that we didn't even record. We just started it, and then your site crashed, and we got banned for 3 months. Yeah.
Maybe they're saying we crashed YouTube.
Yeah, because we're that popular.
Yeah, exactly, right? Wouldn't it be awesome if we were that popular?
Old dude and a Jew walking to a YouTube.
That'd be a great name for a podcast.
Old dude and a Jew. It would be. It would be a good podcast. I like it. What else was I going to ask you about? Orville? You watching Orville?
I have, but I haven't seen the last episode yet. But I've been watching that.
Yeah, me neither.
It's fun.
It wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
No.
No, it was very different.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it though. It's been entertaining.
I did, because it hooked me on that first episode. I was like, all right, let me see what this is about. This ought to be stupid. And then I get halfway through it, and I'm like, this isn't fucking stupid. They're doing this for real.
Yeah.
And then I get done with it, and I'm like, holy shit, he played that thing almost straight. Like, there's jokes, but they're not big jokes.
No. And they tackle some heavy issues in that show.
Yeah, they're a good job. Like, and you can put Adrian Palicki reading the phone book on TV. I'll watch. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I've missed her since she left Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, well, I've missed Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. since I left it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Pass. Speaking of things to be passed on, Inhumans.
I've been watching it.
I'm still with it, but I gotta say, it's pretty fucking awful.
Yeah, I haven't seen the last episode. I'm a bit behind on some TV stuff, but I mean, it's been entertaining. It hasn't been the best thing Marvel's done.
Oh, but not the worst.
No,
I mean, but it's not good.
No.
And Ewan Rowan is bad. He's just bad in it.
Yeah. But I mean, after playing Ramsay Bolton, what are you gonna expect? What do you expect?
I really like Serinda Swan, and I wanted to love her, and no, I can't.
The chick that plays Crystal is cute as fuck, though.
Yes, she is. You're true that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I started watching the Fear the Walking Dead because I watched The 100.
Uh-huh.
So I liked The 100. So I was like, all right, well, and then I've heard mixed reviews on Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So I decided, all right, I'm just gonna give in. And then I was like, oh, Lex is on it. All right, I can watch that.
Yeah, I didn't see the third season at all.
I am almost done with it. I'm almost caught up. Yeah, I thought I was going to be caught up before today, but I'm not quite, because I wanted to drop the Abraham bombshell, but I don't know what it was, so I can't. But apparently, that's where it's going.
Well, I mean, I read something the other day about the crossover, and while it makes the most sense that somebody from Walking Dead will show up on Fear, they haven't confirmed which way the crossover is going.
Right, and there's a 60-day lag, I guess.
Yeah,
between where Fear is and where The Walking Dead is. That's
it. That's as far. That's the difference.
I think that's what I read somewhere, that it was like 64 or something days that it's different.
Oh, geez,
that doesn't leave a lot of time for Abraham, but it does leave a little bit of time.
Well, see, my understanding was like it was like we're in the difference of like, a year or two.
Well, that would make it perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
But if it's any shorter than that, then we'd have to check our sources.
Yeah.
I will have to do some research on that, but I will find out because I'm interested now.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible we could see somebody from Fear the Walking Dead show up in Alexandria.
Yeah. No, I would be surprised because I hate crossover things.
Yeah.
It's what made me stop watching Arrow.
Okay.
Because then I had to watch the fucking Flash too, and I don't want to watch fucking Flash. I just wanted to watch Arrow, but now I got to watch both, and I don't want to watch both.
And now you have to watch all 4 shows.
Now you can't make me watch a fucking show I don't want to watch. I'm just saying. I'll give up on all of them, and I did. And
I still enjoy the shows.
It's the price DC paid.
Well, see, for me, DC's misstep was their fucking movies.
Well, you can't blame Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was great.
And that's one I haven't seen yet. But everything else has been pretty god awful.
See Wonder Woman, dude.
I will. It's when it was in theaters, I couldn't justify giving Warner Brothers money based on the 3 movies that had come before it.
All right, that's legit.
Yeah, because I gave them money for Man of Steel, I gave them money for Batman vs Superman, and I felt cheated by both of those. So I just couldn't do it.
How could you feel cheated with a Step Brothers-esque moment to make everything right in the world?
I mean, yeah, that was the moment that Superman and Batman put aside their differences when they realized their mom has the same goddamn name. Because that makes everything better.
If we could just find out what Rick and Negan's mother's names were, we could solve all the crises.
And see Rick standing over Negan with the gun, and Negan be like, "Martha." Like, "Why did you say that name?
Why'd you say that? Why'd you say that?" And he called her like Martha. She'd be Martha.
Well, considering that Negan and Maggie are Batman's parents, I mean, there should be some common ground there.
It's so cool. So cool. So I was watching The Talking Dead, and like they're all coming out one at a time, right? So they bring out like, Group A, Group B, Group C, blah blah blah, and they do it in reverse order. So first you get like a shit line of 6 people that nobody cares about. Tara, Rosita, okay, yeah, whatever. And then Eugene and blah 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 blah. All right, then bring out Dwight and Stephen Ogg together and Xander Berkeley. Okay, great. And like, just get to the good people. So then they bring out like a whole lot of them at first. So then it's like Denai Guerrero walks out, and I'm like, she's got a movie coming out. Maggie, and I'm like, she's Batman's mom. Like Rick comes out, and I'm like, Love Actually, buddy. And they bring out everybody, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan was the last. They saved him to be by himself. And he comes out, and I realized that Jeffrey Dean Morgan is the second coolest person in the world.
Oh?
Yeah. Jack White is first.
Okay. I can get behind that.
Jack White is super cool. And I've seen Jack White live, and the way he talks to you, and he talks to you when he's on stage. It's so intimate, and there was 60,000 people that Jack White, coolest motherfucker on the planet. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, quite possibly second, because he sits down next to Hardwick, and the whole time he's sitting there, he's got his hands in his lap, and he's giving the role to the audience, like, keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming.
Because they're all booing him?
No, they're screaming.
Oh, okay.
They fucking love him. But Hardwick's trying to talk, and he's just real subtly, just like, come on, keep coming, baby. And then he just brings the audience, and then it's like Hardwick just gives up, and he's like, there you go. And then he stands up and does his dick first entry into a room, and he goes, I did it once, and that's how it went every time now. Dick first. So, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, coolest dude.
Nice, yeah. He seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, he does. I'd have a beer with him.
Definitely.
All right, let's wrap this up. We're probably going to sit on here and talk a little bit, but you guys, you're out.
Right.
So thank you all for one person being in the chat room. Hopefully more next week. And we'll see you then. Until then, love, many, trust you, and do harm to no one.